first time, but wanted to just go over again who we are. So those who weren't in the session yesterday will have a better understanding and get a little bit more information, and then we'll go into our programs. Selena, you want to drive or you want me to drive?
Sure. Do I just share?
Do you want to share your screen? Oh, yeah, I'm not on mute. Do you want to share your? Oh, there you go. You got it. You got it. Perfect.
So great. Yes, today. So we're going to talk about RiseUp and our next gen opportunity with ServiceNow. Again, you can go to the next slide. I'm Patricia Walker, and I'm an engagement lead on the talent and talent outreach and engagement team. And I primarily work with DEI partners and conferences to spread the word about ServiceNow and find great people such as yourself to invite them to apply to the opportunities that we have. And I'm here with Selena today, and she'll do a little bit more introduction of herself when she starts talking about the different programs. So again, just a quick introduction of ServiceNow, RiseUp, and the next gen programs, and then we'll have time for questions. So ServiceNow, our purpose, we make the world work better for everyone, and we literally mean that. We are a cloud platform company, and so basically we take your problems and find solutions digitally for them. Our ambition is to become the defining software company of the 21st century. That's fine. You could leave it there. And we are actually working towards that. We just got great news that we were just awarded a Fortune 500. We're on the Fortune 500 list for the first time. So we are so excited about that growth. And we have 4 core values here at ServiceNow. Wow our customers, win as a team, create belonging, and stay hungry and humble. My favorite one is to stay hungry and humble because, although we have these accolades and, we receive these awards, we stay rooted to our main focus. And that is to keep our business customer centric. We are a team oriented company, and we definitely create a sense of belonging. We feel like everyone is welcome. We have open arms. Come as you are is what we say. Bring your best you to ServiceNow. Next slide. And again, we're humbled to receive some of these awards. We just found out this week too that we again made the Glassdoor Best Places to Work list for 2023. So we're really excited and humbled again to receive that accolade. So how does ServiceNow work for you and your company currently? We are a company that has a 99% contract renewal rate with our customers. We service 80% of the Fortune 500 companies, and we have over 8,500 clients that we service around the world. And we do that by creating just one platform. We've created one platform that can work in many, many different ways, from customer experience to employer experience, internal clients, external clients, operating excellence, technology, and building, again, a digital workflow. We like to say we like to workflow it. So that's a little bit about us. There's so much more about us that we'd love for you to learn. We'll share some information on how you can join us in future professional development workshops and open house and information sessions, which will start in August. So I'll turn it over to Selena.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm very familiar with Girl Develop It. I have been in the software industry as a software engineer for the last 18 years. And I began my transition into tech very similar to many of you guys. I actually didn't think I would become a technologist. I studied business in school. I was interested in entrepreneurship. And I sort of found technology within the various jobs that I held early in my career. So for me, the transition into tech was really around how do we solve solutions, right? The world's problems, and how do we use technology to drive the mission of these organizations? My specific interest was in nonprofits. So I did a lot of work in nonprofit, really helping them to think about how do they deliver programs? How do they keep track of constituents? So similar to, if we think about Girl Development as an organization, you guys are taking training classes, you're signing up for different courses, you're joining these types of events. And so I started my career early building CRM databases that allowed companies to track all of the initiatives that they were doing to really change the world. So I learned about Girl Development years ago because I work in the technology sector. I've heard about the courses that have been offered, and I am new to ServiceNow. This is my 4th week. I am the head of the Next Gen program, which I'm going to talk to you all about in my presentation. And I'm just really excited to bring this program to you all as someone who has worked in the workforce development space for more than 2 decades, and also worked as a technologist, which is what all you guys are studying. So I'm happy to share my journey. I wanted to put my LinkedIn here. So if you want to connect with me after this presentation, if you have questions, you can follow along. I post lots of stuff about how to accelerate your careers. I post success stories on other people who have done it so you can continue to grow your network. And my email is selena.suarez@servicenow.com, and would be very happy to hear from you all if this is a program that interests you. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this program that we have. So first, I'm going to play a short video that we created where you can see some of the alumni, some of the participants who have gone through our program and what they have to say about it. So we'll start with that. Then I'll transition into speaking to you all about what the program is and how you can get involved.
I actually used to sell apartments for $9.45 an hour.
I had a wife and 2 kids that I had to support. And, it was really risky for me to jump out there on my own.
I was working 80 hours a week. I didn't know what I even wanted to do.
I thought my career was done.
My background is not at all in IT or tech.
But I always thought when I was a kid, I'd be a firefighter, I'd work for the FBI or CIA, be a secret agent.
My boss tells me, we're implementing this thing called ServiceNow.
Hey, you want to give this a try? And I'm like, absolutely.
From there, I took the program, and here I am.
You don't have to be that classic look of big-brained, complete nerd, super genius.
I was able to pick up and learn and grow.
ServiceNow is a digital platform.
You can use it for IT, you can use it for HR, you can use it for customer service.
I can't imagine a thing that I can't do on it.
We're able to make careers for ourselves.
And everyone within the community is so positive.
We're able to get together,
Hey, don't do that, try this.
collaborate.
I feel like some of these people are just some of my best friends.
That just really want to help.
That's one of the things I love about the community.
ServiceNow has definitely changed my life.
I never had an opportunity to actually go on a vacation until this year.
I'm able to have amazing work-life balance where I can take the time to study and further my career and get a degree like my dad wants me to do so I can make him proud.
It just gives me such a sense of accomplishment.
I feel very respected as a woman, as a mother, as a person, as a developer.
It's changed my life so much.
I went from an operations manager to the CEO of my own company.
I went from limited to limitless.
I went from just a job to a dream job.
Anybody can do it.
Go for it.
As long as you believe in it, you can do it.
It completely changed everything for me.
So this video today introduces an initiative that we have at ServiceNow called RiseUp. So RiseUp is a program that was created to help more people who may have not have access to the type of training programs that we offer, to give them access to these programs at no cost. And so I know that you guys are on your tech journey, you're doing different classes with GDI, and you may want to find out what other opportunities you have out there to break into the tech industry. I'm a person that came from a very low income family. I went to college, and after college, as I mentioned to you all, I started to work with different organizations in the nonprofit space and really looking to figure out how we can solve some of these problems by using technology. And so ServiceNow products, we like to think of ourselves as the tools that helps the world actually work. So how are organizations actually using our technology to drive change in their organizations? So within our program, we have a program called Next Gen. So Next Gen really exists to break down the traditional barriers of entry into a ServiceNow career. So there are many reasons why certain populations have less access to technical trainings and certifications, for example, and we really are working to remove those barriers. So making that training accessible, making those certification vouchers and that pathway to certification accessible, introducing you to our community of evangelists and community of learners and other people who have gone through the journey that you have, to provide that support network around you while you're growing your career. So our audiences are really folks who are either unemployed or underemployed. Many of the individuals in our program are from underrepresented backgrounds. They may identify as educationally or economically disadvantaged. We work with HBCUs and other types of organizations that track underrepresented talent. Indigenous populations. Maybe you have, been a stay-at-home mom for some time and you're looking to return to work. Maybe you're an international student in this country, or you're a refugee. And we also have a veterans program that provides support for veterans and their families. My husband is a U.S. Marine, and he actually has taken advantage of certain training programs out there. And when veterans are transitioning from their military service into the economy, these types of programs really help them to make the transition. So if you are a military family member, or you are a military person yourself, we may be able to help you through some of our programs. So now I want to just talk a little bit about how we do this. So our programs are virtual, so you can take our classes from the comfort of your own home or your office. We train on ServiceNow skills. So you're going to learn about the skills that it takes to build the actual technologies that companies use. So configurations, building out catalogs, working with data, all of those things are included in our training programs. We also, as I mentioned earlier, the importance of having that network. We are bringing you into our network. So we're making those mentors and other individuals available to you as you are on your career journey. We like to think that we are welcoming you into the ServiceNow family when you participate in our Next Gen program. After you finish your training program, we also help you with that transition process. So how do you come out of the classroom and prepare for a career in tech? What does it look like to interview for a tech role? What are the specific nuances that you need to be aware of? So for example, usually when you're interviewing for a tech role, you may be asked to build something or demonstrate something or do a presentation. We will walk you through what to expect. So the day that you show up for your interview, you won't have anything to be nervous about, because we would have practiced and helped you to understand what the cadence of a technical interview may look like. Then we have our employability team. That employability team is going to help you from the classroom into that transition program, and then getting you ready for those interviews that you will eventually have. So prepping you for the interview, introducing you to our partner network, making sure that you understand how to launch and execute a successful job search. A lot of my students that I've worked with over the years, as I've trained people in technology, are really nervous about what happens when it's time to start interviewing. But I'm here to tell you, I don't come from a family that was technologists or business people, and it is a learned skill. Many, many years ago, when I first started out my career, I tell this story, but I wanted to be a bank teller. My family was very low income, and I said, well, it would be great for me to go work at a bank so I can learn about money and credit and get myself out of poverty. So back then, and I may be dating myself, but you couldn't just go on monster.com or Indeed or whatever. You literally had to print out your resume and walk into the business you wanted to work at, ask for the manager, smile, shake their hand, and present why they should give you an interview. So I went into like 50 banks, and I was just getting turned down left and right. Finally, I was in the Bronx, and I walked into Banco Popular, and somehow I walked up to the teller to ask if they were hiring, and the branch manager, who was a female, which I was surprised by because I'd never seen like a female branch leader at that time. And I said, I'm looking for a job. I want to be a bank teller. And she gave me an interview for like a few days later. So I walk into this interview. I literally had never done a job interview in my life, didn't know anything of what to expect. And I just proceeded to bomb the entire interview, right? It was so bad. I had practiced so much to get to this interview, but she had asked me a question that I wasn't prepared for. And to this day, I'm talking about 25 years later, I'm still telling this story. The woman said to me, she said, what are your hobbies? And it completely threw me off because I never expected someone to ask me about my hobbies. So I got super nervous, like my palms got sweaty. I was like, oh my God, what does she want me to say? What does she want me to say? And I was like, well, I like art. And I was just like, I think she felt really bad for me because at the end of the interview, she was like, it was really great meeting you. And here are some of the things you should think about. And I literally took everything that she said. And a friend of mine gave me a book called Knock 'em Dead. It still is out there. They like produce a new version every year. But that book actually taught me how to interview. And the very next job I got was at Bank of America. And I had a wonderful career there until I transitioned into tech. So I'm just saying, I tell that whole long-winded story just to say that becoming a great, getting through interviews and doing well on interviews is a learned skill. No one's born a wonderful interviewer, right? Like you learn those skills. So in our program, once you're done with your training, we're going to teach you how you get through job interviews. How do you stand out amongst the crowd? How do you get more offers? And ultimately, how do you land that job? Because part of technical training is the hard skills. We want to get the hard skills. We want the certifications, but it's also equally important to build your network and know how to possess the soft skills needed to get through an interview and ultimately land a job. So the roles, you might be thinking now about what jobs are we actually training for? So we train system administrators. So system administrators, those are the folks who own the system. They typically work with top-level executives in the organization and their teams to ensure that the database is able to capture the metrics that we need to run our business. So a system administrator wears different hats. You may be interviewing team members about their needs. You may be building some stuff, launching applications, managing releases. You're doing all kinds of stuff, but the system administrator is the person who's administrating the system. It's not like an administrative assistant, right? It's an administrator, which means that you are in charge and you own that system. Second is the developers. So developers typically work more with code. So the difference between the administrator and the developer is that usually the system administrator is using declarative technologies, which means that you don't have to have a background in coding to become a system administrator because you're really owning the system and you're building the system using point and click technologies. Developers are going more into the coding side. So if you have a background in coding or an interest in coding, you can certainly take the developer path to learn how to code on ServiceNow. An implementer is someone that would work for a company that implements for other companies. So ServiceNow has lots of customers like the WNBA and the NBA. So you might be working with an implementer, a ServiceNow partner, who is responsible for the implementation for the NBA. So you would go in with that team to help this customer, the NBA, figure out what they need from a technological standpoint. And as that implementer, usually your title would be either business analyst or consultant, you would be advising and helping to build out the tools for ServiceNow customer base. And last but not least is the data analyst. So the data analyst is usually, they have a couple different titles. It could be business analyst, data analyst, but you're the person that's really digging down deep into what the problems are. So, and how can we use data to inform our decisions? So maybe we are working on a project and we're trying to figure out why ticket sales for the NBA are lower in New York City than they are in New Jersey. So you might be pulling data reports to figure out, does it have to do with traffic patterns? Is it because the team is not doing well? Did they lose a star? Maybe, there's been lower engagement, there's lack of marketing. So as that data and business analyst, you'll be digging into the problems to figure out any data patterns that you can uncover to help drive the system implementation. And so these are the various roles that we train you into as you're building and entering the ServiceNow ecosystem. So hopefully that gave you a good overview of what we're doing here. And so if you are interested in learning more about our program, we have two different types of programs that you can do. One is a full-time program. It's virtual. We call it our in-house program. It is a 10-week program. It is intensive. So you're doing work and assignments between the hours of 9 and 5. We have group mentorship that's included. And really, we're only asking that you have that 100% commitment to participate and complete the program. The second program takes a little bit longer. It's called Guided. So it's more on-demand content, but it will allow you to participate in twice a week scheduled guided sessions, but it will give you up to 22 weeks to finish the program. And what's unique about that program is it allows you to fit it into your day. So maybe you don't have 9 to 5 available because you have a family or you're working or you have some other obligations. The guided learning path might be an option for you because you can structure that program around your life. Up on this screen, we have a QR code. So this QR code can take you to our landing pages so you can learn more about our technical training. So I advise you guys just take a screenshot if you're interested. And of course, I already shared with you my information. You can contact me directly. But when you join the training program, you're going to get access to the training. You're going to get access to what we call power skills, which are all those transition skills you're going to need to transition into a tech job. We provide you with opportunities to work on hands-on projects and exercises, which will really give you like the feel of what that job is going to be like. In our program, we include the certification voucher. So you can go ahead and take the certification at no cost. We will provide you with that voucher. And last but not least, as I mentioned earlier, we have a team that is committed to helping you find your next role. And we do that through our employment services division. All right, everyone. So hopefully that gave you a lot of the information that you need. And we will be open to taking your questions at this point. Anything you want to talk about, if you want me to flip back to an earlier slide, we have a little bit of time here. So please feel free to ask away.
Thank you so much, Selena, and Patricia, for that introduction. That was really fantastic. I don't know if you've been seeing some of the questions come through the chat. Is it easier if I just ask them?
Yeah, I can't see them.
Okay, sure thing.
There you go.
So we've got some folks that want to know about the application. Do we just fill out an application in the program, and how often do the cohorts start?
So the cohorts all start at different times depending on what program you're on. So we can send you out the information. We have a couple of courses starting this summer. We have some new courses rolling out in the fall. But typically there are a group of cohorts that start each quarter. Depending on which program you're in, they can stagger at different times. So there's always new cohorts running.
Got it. Thank you. And somebody asked about those programs offered. Are they all 10 or 22 weeks, or are those different times as well?
So all of our programs for the technical training program run 10 weeks right now. The 22-week program is where you would just get that guided experience if you don't have that opportunity for whatever reason to work full time.
Okay, thank you. We've got some questions here too from folks about the students that participate in the programming. Is it often that graduates of these programs are hired by ServiceNow once the program concludes?
Sorry, it jumped a little bit and I didn't catch the middle of your question.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This cold is killing me. The questions that we got were about the graduates of the program, and is it often that those that participate in the program, once it's concluded, are they often hired by ServiceNow?
So they can be. We do have two separate paths. And so one, you can use this training to pursue a career in our ecosystem. So a lot of what I talked about today. And the second path is you can work to join a team or a open role at ServiceNow, the company. And so we do provide options for you to learn about our ecosystem of jobs internally and how you can prepare and apply to those roles as well.
Okay, awesome. I see that Patricia is going to drop a new link in for folks because it looks like the QR code was disabled in the last one, but that's good. Thank you for letting us know, Patricia. Thank you for updating that as well. We have a question in here, Selena, about the technical project manager role. Can you tell us a little bit more about that position?
Yeah, so when you do our next gen program, we're really starting you guys out at the basics. ServiceNow just released a new set of courses. We rolled it out during the Knowledge Conference that happened a few weeks ago, and that is called Career Journeys. So Career Journeys allows you to kind of structure what is it that you're doing to those different roles. In my example that I put on the screen, I gave you some of the high-level roles that we help to prepare you for, including the system administrator down to data analyst. But these trainings that you get are the fundamentals. So the fundamentals will allow you to then grow your career in whichever direction you would like to take it. So if you're interested in being a project manager, a technical implementer, that's one path. Or if you want to be a developer or system admin, that's another path. But what we're providing in this program is the fundamental skills that you need, regardless of which path you're looking to pursue.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for that. I really am so grateful also to you for putting up this slide, because I think that that shares a lot of the information as to what people can expect when they're looking to explore this role and what that looks like. Are there any other questions that folks have about the I'm sorry, I'm just checking these chats to make sure I'm not missing anything. Are there any other questions that folks have while we have Selena and Patricia here with us?
I see one here about the difference between RiseUp and NextGen. So RiseUp is an initiative, right? NextGen is our actual program. RiseUp is the overall initiative of ServiceNow creating this platform and these trainings and delivering it to the communities that would benefit the most from it. So the program I'm talking about is NextGen. We have our veterans program. We have some global programs that we run, but they all fall under the umbrella of the RiseUp initiative. So NextGen is part of that initiative.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And then there's this one question too about programs that have career services.
Yes. So the career services is the piece that we talked about on employment services. So there, we're giving you advice on, what career path might be right for you. And if you guys take a look, I posted the career journeys in the chat. That will during the course, we will be consulting with you guys to teach you about all the various paths that you can spin this training into. And then we will help you on that employability path, like which employers do you want to target? How do you build the dossier of organizations you want to, interview for? And then we'll help you put together a plan and get in front of these hiring managers for interviews so you can ultimately land the role that you're looking for.
Such an awesome program. It's just such a gift to the community too, to be able to have those resources and support. So are there minimum requirements for the developer path?
So one question before that is Code Differently in NextGen. So the first question, Code Differently is a nonprofit that administers or vets applications that come into our program. So similarly to you guys are all coming in from GDI. So GDI is the partner we're working with, the nonprofit we're working with, and you guys would come to us through GDI. It's the same situation with Code Differently. The minimum requirements for the developer path, the way that our program is built today, if you look at the career journeys, is when you come into NextGen, everyone will take that baseline training. And then you can move on to one of those other paths, including the developer path. So at the very minimum, we will have you completing the introductory courses that will get you acclimated to the environment, to the training grounds, to everything that you need to build up your skill set. And then we will help you transition it into the skills you like. I know many of you guys are already doing training boot camps around coding and that sort of thing. And you might want to think about how you transition those skills into ServiceNow. And those are the types of things we will help you to decipher when you join our program.
Thank you. So do you see this next one about the requirements for the developer path?
Yes, that's the one. That's what I just answered. So
my God, I'm so sorry.
Yes, no worries. That's the one I was just mentioning to you guys. That last question from Stacy. What we do is, as using the career journeys, is all you guys come in and do the fundamentals, and then we help you career path into which journey you would like to pursue. So check out the link that I posted in there, and you'll see all the different career paths associated with our program.
That is fantastic. Thank you. Okay. We are seeing that that specific link is taking them to a sign-in page. Is that part of the? You're faster than me. What am I even doing here? You're so good. Thank you.
It allows you to sign in, so then you can see all the career journeys and see what it is that they have to offer. And then I also put a little deck in there so that you can see what the general overall details are. Our website, I think that's what you shared, Patricia, the one with the video that explains the entire program. Check out this link. This is the RiseUp NextGen link. Patricia, are we sharing this deck with them?
We need to check with the legal first. there's
Okay.
sometimes issue with us sharing our decks. So we
Yeah.
may
So
be able to share certain information with you, but maybe not the whole deck.
yeah. So I was just thinking, if you share anything, maybe I can compile the links in one place and then send it to them. Otherwise, you guys can grab the links that I put in the chat.
Yeah, we certainly can get those over to Katie and she can share with everybody or.
Perfect.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I'd be happy to do that. Patricia and Selena, thank you.
And the last link that I posted, you can see all the career journeys. There's like a little, maybe you can see it from here. Can you guys still see my screen?
Yep.
Oh no, it's showing the presentation. I think I have to reshare. Let me just share this other screen with you. It is this one. This is the last link I put there for you guys. Here you can see all of the different career paths. So like technical project manager, business process implementer, and it'll give you more details about those specific career paths that you may be interested in.
That's awesome.
And all the details.
We have a question about, is there a fee or tuition to get into the Next Gen program?
There is not. So our fundamental courses and all the training you need to kick off your career journey are all free.
It's such a cool program. A really good opportunity, and I'm so glad that we had the chance to really hear more about what Next Gen is underneath this RiseUp umbrella. So thank you so much for taking the time to share this information and all of these decks. I think that, links. It's probably even better than a deck to just dive right into it and get started, because this is a very, very cool opportunity and exactly what our community is looking for. So thank you so much. I don't see any other questions. And I really am so grateful to Jess that you were able to share such comprehensive information and that it is free. So really just expecting folks to take you up on the opportunity to take this to the next level. So thank you.
Thank you all, and thank you for your messages.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Thanks again.
All right.
All the
Good luck
best,
with your
everyone.
journey.
Take care.
Take care.
Thanks.